I think there are basic memory systems out there that everyone should have because sooner or later you're going to memorize some information, and having a memory system is going to make it so much faster and easier to learn it. And so the very first memory system, probably the most important memory system, is a number system. Now, I'm not saying you have to have a complex 3-digit number system where you have 1,000 images you have to create, but maybe a 2-digit, 1-digit, PAO, PO, PA, whatever it may be. Whatever you think you might learn in terms of numbers, that should dictate what kind of system you have. So maybe you might memorize some phone numbers, birthdays, maybe some dates here and there. And so if that's the case, a single digit number system is good enough because you have 10 images, 0 to 9, and all numbers in the world are made up of those 10 digits, right? So if you take this as one big number, look, it has 0 through 9 in it. And so that's all you need. But if you memorize a little bit more numbers in your life, I don't know why, maybe programming, maybe some math, whatever it may be, a two-digit number system is probably the middle ground of all the different systems. Because a single-digit number system, you might have more repeating images. A 3-digit number system might take you forever to complete. And so a two-digit number system is right in the middle. 100 images, yes, but it is doable. And so a number system you should have regardless of the variation of it. Next would be an alphabet system. Now, you're probably not memorizing random letters out there for the most part, but it's still something good to have because you could use the system to help you remember spellings, how to spell a specific word, and if you memorize your passwords for your phone or for your internet, whatever it may be, having a number system and an alphabet system is really great. And so an alphabet system is probably the second thing I would recommend. But also, as you can tell, you have all these different symbols. And I don't know why, but people have passwords to their Wi-Fi like they work at the Pentagon. Someone's trying to break into their internet. No one really cares, okay? And so you might need to create a symbol system depending on how many symbols you actually use or you might run into. And so as you can tell, there are a good amount of symbols in this ASCII, I think is what it's called, character list. And so it's really up to you if you want to create an image for all these different symbols or just a handful. Probably like exclamation mark, at sign, maybe equals parentheses. I'm not sure, but it really depends on what you see usually. So I would say a symbol system is not really needed, but it is recommended if you try to memorize, people's Wi-Fi passwords or your Wi-Fi passwords or whatever it may be. Okay? So that is one of the systems that's kind of like on the fence depending on what you're trying to do with it. I would say the last system is a name system. Okay? Now, I'm not a big fan of having a name system, but maybe you're a teacher, right? And so regardless, every year you're going to have new kids. And so it's a good idea to be able to memorize those names. And so let's say you're in the US like I am, okay? There is a higher chance of having these specific names, right? These popular names that might come over and over and over again, especially if you're in a school. And so it would be a good idea to have some of these common names down. Now, you could go through like a list like this on the screen, create all your different images and just practice them. That's one way to create a name system. But I like to create a name system on the fly. So what that really means is if I'm given the name James and say I'm a teacher, I'm like, okay, James, I picture chains, that's it, boom. I don't necessarily go through and practice my systems like I would with a number system or an alphabet system, something like that. So I made this initial connection between James and the image for it is chains. And so I made that connection. So next time when I get the name James, hopefully that connection is strong enough. I'm like, oh yeah, James, oh yeah, that's chains. Okay, I use chains for that. Boom, use it again. Because when it comes to names, you use the same image over and over and over again. Regardless if you have 30 James in the same room, you're going to use the same image. Because it doesn't make sense to keep changing the image over and over and over again. And our brains are really good at making connections. And so if you make this initial connection, Robert, robot, next time it's very likely that image is what's going to come to your mind. And so that's how I like to create my name system, by creating it on the fly. Not really getting all of these, putting them in Anki or some flashcard software and keep going over and over and over, trying to draw all these images for these names in my mind. No, I like to just create it on the fly because it's less pressure, less reviewing, less time spent trying to make all these systems. Because at the end of the day, and this is why I'm on the fence with a name system, you might have this whole list down. You might never run into someone that has one of these names. Yes, it's likely, highly likely, because it's the most popular names, but it's not guaranteed. And that's where I have a problem with a names system, is because it's not guaranteed. And so that's why I recommend, if you do want a names system, create it on the fly, and you see it's probably way more effective than trying to get all these names, getting 200 names, I think. Getting 200 names and just practicing them over and over and over again, and hopefully they do pop up. But yeah, so that is what I recommend. A number system, alphabet system, kind of goes into a combination of the number system when you're trying to memorize passwords or something, or help you with spelling. Passwords, if it's Wi-Fi, stuff like that, but don't make your password like the Pentagon, because it's just Wi-Fi. Get over it. Add a name system on the fly. And so yeah, so if there's any other systems you think that would be useful to kind of have, that everyone should have, let me know, because honestly, these are the things I probably use most in my daily life. I'm not sure if I'm just not doing anything, so that's why I don't have these other systems you might have, but I would love to hear other systems you do use on a daily basis. So hopefully you enjoy this episode, and I'll see you next time.